Hello and welcome back to another Bear Center review with me, BearElliott. Very rarely does a comic book series come along that completely captivates me and makes me extremely excited and ready for the next issue. Now, I am always been a kind of main core top two kind of guy where I read a lot of Marvel and a lot of DC comics. They've always just, I guess it's nostalgic from when I was a kid, that's what I've always read. So now and then there's a series that always comes out from one of the other publishers of comics that I'm like, oh, okay, I want to read that. And they've been okay. But this latest one, I just became introduced to when I was in Maryland, when I went to Third Eye Comics in Maryland. Hi, guys. It's a great comic book store, so definitely check it out. I found this series that I heard about on iFanboy. And I was like, okay, I've heard about it, and they said it was really good, and I wanted to pick it up. So what is this comic book series? Jupiter's Circle and Jupiter's Legacy. So right now, Jupiter's Legacy is the first one that came out, and it is actually the one that kind of takes place in modern / futuristic day. This one's actually available in trade, so I'd suggest picking up in trade because you will not want to put this down and try to find the other ones because it is so good. But let's start with the prequel, Jupiter's Circle. So this is Jupiter's Circle. What really got me involved in this series in particular by Image Comics. I should tell you that. This is what the variant cover looks like on issue number 1 and issue number 2. So the first 2 issues and issue number 3 just got released last week. Basically what's going on in Jupiter's Circle in the first 2 issues is we're focusing on different characters of what's called the Union. Now they're a superhero super team that get their powers from aliens, and they were friends back in college, and they follow the Utopian who becomes Utopian. He's kind of like a Superman-esque kind of character, but he's got like a bunch of different superpowers. They all kind of have different superpowers. I've yet to figure out like what their specific superpower is. But in Jupiter's Circle, what's really interesting is the first 2 issues focus on Blue Bolt. That's Blue Bolt right there. Right there. Kind of a stud. Interestingly enough, he's the gay character. Now, I'm always a sucker for LGBT characters, just kind of what I go for because I'm gay. So I kind of like to see representation of myself in comics. Blue Bolt is going through the McCarthy era and also during the Hoover era, or not the Hoover, I can't think of his name, the guy that ran the FBI. Oh, man. J. Edgar Hoover. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot that. Yeah, seeing as he was a big fairy. Oops. Yeah, I'm sorry if I, let that out of the bag. Yeah, he was a big old fairy. But he went after all these Hollywood stars and had all of this information and intel about their private lives. Well, Blue Bolt, he is out in Hollywood, and he's running with, the celebrities of that time area of when Edgar Hoover was collecting all this data. But he's keeping his sexuality secret because during that time period, in real life and in our society, being gay was actually considered illegal. And it was also considered a mental disorder. So he's keeping this a secret from his fellow superheroes, but he's also hooking up with guys in parks, and it gives a very accurate depiction of what it was like back then to be a closeted gay man, where you were hooked up with other gay people by parties, and they would throw parties where you would meet other people that were gay, lesbians and so forth, and gays and bisexuals and everything. Well, also it's very interesting because it does also focus on he gets hooked up with other gay men through a third party. That was even still relevant to this day. I know of some people that do that, but now it's called apps, but that's another thing. But the storyline is really, really good, and it focuses not so much on the superpowers, but on the relationships that these characters have with each other, and also with society as a whole. That takes us into Jupiter's Legacy. Now, Jupiter's Legacy, this is what the trade looks like. It focuses on these characters in modern day. So we're talking about 50 years later. So these are old superheroes, but they're still practicing their trade. For the most part, it has Utopian and his wife and their 2 children, and it focuses on the children of the superheroes and what now it's like they're celebrities. Very much like Paris Hilton-esque, you get the feeling of for the main character. But things don't go well with the next generation. They kind of hold a grudge against the original Utopian, and chaos ensues. But there's all this backstabbing and family drama. This series is amazing. I am totally addicted to Jupiter's Circle and Jupiter's Legacy. You need to drop everything that you're doing, go out and buy this comic. It is that good. It's the writing. The art's a little bit different. It's the same artist that did Superman All-Star. I don't like my superheroes to look puffy and look like they're squishy, but hey, I got over it because the storyline's so good. I am giving this a 4.5 and a paw review because it's so good that I just didn't want to put it down. And I found myself at 3 o'clock in the morning still reading Jupiter's Legacy. And I'm in bed really early because I'm old. But definitely check out Jupiter's Legacy and Jupiter's Circle at your local comic book stores, and they're also available on digital download. You need to download this if you're a comic book fan because, hey, it's a great storyline. It tells a great story, and you really get into the heads of superheroes. So until next time, bye, Cublets!
I could go out in the darkness, see you calling my name. I hear you shouting, hear you calling, but it's not the same. Every word that you're throwing right into my back doesn't matter to me, cause I'm keeping my track. Let me go, let me go.